Hello everyone, you are watching Science Education and this is the fourth video of the series for ratio and proportion related 10 important problems. I hope you are doing well with the strategy I have given to you and you are practicing 10 questions every day for ratio and proportion. And today again we will cover few important questions related to proportion mostly and related to some banking awareness concepts. So let's move on to the first problem for today's video. So this is the problem number 7. Vinod has taken A amount of short-term loan and B amount of long-term loan. When he was asked how much money he received as a loan in total, he replied the mean proportion of his loan is 6 lakh, whereas the third proportion of his loan is 81 by 4 lakh. How much loan amount he has received in total in lakh? So when he was asked, he didn't reply directly. He said the mean proportion value and third proportion value of the loans he got. So we need to find out the total amount he received from the both loans using the values of mean proportion and third proportion. So before going to solve the problem, let's look at the important terms used related to banking awareness. The important question here is, what is loan? Loan is a thing that is borrowed, especially a sum of money that is expected to be paid back with interest, means some extra amount. Providing loans is a primary function for banks. So bank gets the deposits from their users and the money received by bank is further used as a loan to others. It can be individual person or it can be a commercial company. So loan means the amount of money borrowed from bank or some other financial institution where they have to give it back with some extra amount. So this is a primary function for a bank. Now, what is a short-term loan and what is a long-term loan? Short-term loans mean loans with a tenure less than 1 year. Loans with tenure with more than 1 year are called long-term loans. So I hope you understood the concept of loan and you have already solved the problem. Let's look at the solution. So here is the solution. As mean proportion and third proportion concepts are here, so we have to identify how it was mentioned. Vinod mentioned that the mean proportion of both the loans is 6 lakh. That means short-term loan is to mean-term loan, double is to mean-term loan is to long-term loan. So here mean proportion is 6. So the multiplication of extremes and multiplication of means will be same. So here we get STL into LTL is equals to mean proportion into mean proportion. 6 into 6, that is 36. Again, for third proportion, short-term loan, the second value will be long-term loan and third value will be third proportion. So the proportion will be short-term loan is to long-term loan, double is to long-term loan is to the third proportion. And in the question it is given that third proportion is 81 by 4. Again the same formula, the multiplication of means is equals to multiplication of the extremes. So we know the value of third proportion. Now if we just put the value of third proportion and put the value of short-term loan here in this equation from the previous equation we got here. So now if we just put the value of third proportion and short-term loan from the equation, let's say 1, we get LTL square is equals to 36 by LTL into 81 by 4. So now if we just cross multiply LTL here, we get long-term loan cube is equals to 36 into 81 by 4. And if we just solve it, we get 9 cube. So the long-term loan is 9 and short-term loan is 36 divided by 9, that is 4. So that means the total loan they received is 4 plus 9, 13 unit, means 13 lakh. So the answer is number 4. So I hope you understood. Let's move on to the next problem. Problem number 8. Banker planned to give a post-dated check and do NEFT to his brother for amount in a ratio of 7:6. But from the sum amount he had to buy a new mobile of rupees 39,000. He managed to arrange 4,000 rupees more to send his brother via NEFT along with the left amount. Finally, he sent same amount via both methods. Now, the question is, what was the initial amount banker planned to send to his brother? Now, you can try the question on yourself and you can paste the answers in the comment section. Before going to the solution part, let's look at the important banking related terms. Now, the first one is, what is NEFT? The full form of NEFT is National Electronic Fund Transfer. NEFT is a 24/7 mode of payment method without any minimum or maximum limit of transaction and with no charges. We can do money transfer using this method. There is no maximum or minimum limit of transaction and there is no extra charges. What is post-dated check? A check with a future date is called post-dated check and it cannot be encashed before the date on it. So that means if banker plans to send a post-dated check to his brother will not be able to encash the amount before the date mentioned in the check. Now let's look at the solution of this problem. So here is the solution. Initially, the ratio of the amounts he planned to send via both the methods is 7:6. Now, after spending and arranging more money, finally he sent the same amount in both the methods. And the check was already written to his brother. That means there is no change in the amount of money in the post-dated check. Now, if we just think that there is a change, that 39,000 amount was taken from the total amount he planned initially. So there is no change in the ratio here. So this one was taken as the same ratio. So till here there is no change in the ratio. But after he managed to arrange 4,000 rupees, he sent that 4,000 rupees in NEFT. So the change in ratio happened here with this 4,000 rupees. That's why we maintain the same ratio and make the 1:1 ratio as 7:7. And this change in 1 unit is the 4,000 he arranged to send to his brother via NEFT. So initially, banker planned for 7 plus 6, that is 13 unit, correct? And this 1 unit means 4,000. So initially, he planned for 52,000, correct? And that is after buying the mobile. Now, before buying the mobile, you can add 39,000 more and you will get the answer, that is 91,000. Okay. So to understand this better, we have another alternative here. As we already discussed that 39,000 is taken from the total amount, it can be divided into 7:6, and that is again 13 unit. Now if we divide this one, we get 21k and 18k. So 29k was taken from the amount which was supposed to be in the post-dated check and 18k in the from the NEFT. So minus 21k from check and minus 18k from NEFT. Again 4k extra added in NEFT later, right? So later the NEFT became minus 14k. Now as initially it was 7:6 and finally it became 1:1. We use the cross multiplication technique here. Using the values were added. So here 21k was taken from the initial amounts and 14k from here. And the final ratio became 1:1. Now, if we just do the cross multiplication, 7 into 1 is 7, 6:1 is 6. If we subtract them, we get 1 unit here. And if we do the same thing here, 1 into 14 and 1 into 21, we get 7k here. That means 1 unit becomes 7k. So I hope you understood the logic here. 7:6 is the initial ratio, 1:1 is the final ratio. How it became this one? By decreasing the value 21k and or 18k and adding 4k again later. So we get 21k and 14k finally. So after subtracting this value, we got 1:1. And if we just do the cross multiplication, we get 1 unit is 7k for this method. Now 13 unit into 7k, that becomes 91k. So number 1 is the answer. So I hope you understood both the approaches here, and let's summarize what we have learned in this lesson. So here we used the continuous proportion techniques. Here we solved a problem with mean proportion and third proportion. So mean proportion is the value same in second and third position of the proportion, and third proportion is the fourth value, that is called third proportion, where we are looking into the continuous proportion. So in continuous proportion we have three variables, a, b and c, as we have already discussed in the theory part. So mean proportion is the second one and third proportion is the last one. Now what is the fourth proportion? Fourth proportion is the fourth value for a normal proportion, not in a continuous proportion. So I hope you understood the concepts, and if you have any doubt you can just watch the theory part for ratio and proportion, where we have discussed this thoroughly. And for banking awareness, we have learned loans, NEFT and post-dated check. So I hope you enjoyed the session. So on the next video we will see two more different problems on ratio and proportion, and that is the last video for this series. Please let me know if you have any queries from these sessions, and you can join our Telegram channel to get this PDF. You can visit our community in Facebook and Instagram as well. So till then, bye bye, stay healthy, stay safe and keep practicing.